Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. It is the 25th of August. It's a Friday. National Park Service Founders Day today. National Banana Split Day today. Do you like banana splits?
No.
That's never, I don't dislike them, but I've never ever been like, man, I really need a banana split. National Secondhand Wardrobe Day today. Heidi loves buying secondhand clothes.
I do.
She bought me some pants one time. I'm like, I think these are
Oh
ladies'
my
pants.
gosh,
She's like,
here
no,
we
they're not.
go.
I'm like, I think they're maternity pants. And then I was like, see here where it says heel figure for her?
It's not my fault. They were in the men's department.
National Kiss and Makeup Day. Come over here. Let's kiss and make up. It's okay that you bought me ladies' pants. And it's National Whiskey Sour Day today. You a fan, Heidi?
I am. I do like whiskey sours.
All right. I'm going to have you drinking some whiskey sour while I'm wearing some ladies' pants. That came out wrong. All right. Hey, I've got a guest joining me. Hope you didn't just hear that. Willie Robertson. Yeah, from Duck Dynasty. We've had him on the show before. Great dude. Going to talk to him about a new movie that's coming out next month called The Blind. It's all about his mom and dad and how they came to be his mom and dad.
Okay.
Excited to chat with him all about that coming up.
It's more important now than ever before to have a better credit card. We would love to help at bettercreditcards.com. We offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we can help you find a good fit for you at bettercreditcards.com.
Give yourself a little credit. Go ahead and switch to bettercreditcards.com.
That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. A little breakdown of people and stuff like this. 71% of us eavesdrop. You ever do that, Heidi?
Yeah, I'm sure I have.
I've never done that, but I overheard some other people doing it once. 65% of women brush their teeth at least twice a day.
Only 60? I thought you were supposed to brush your teeth twice a day. I am part of the 65%.
50% admit to regularly sneaking food into movie theaters.
I would never admit that.
You're like going to the movie theaters, like, let's go to Dollar Tree first. What are you talking about? 35% admit to giving money to charity at least once a month. 20% of bosses will not consider a job applicant if they have a typo on their resume.
Okay.
I can see that. You see here where you spelled your name wrong. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com.
Did you know you can allocate a percentage of your IRA to physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can put your IRA back on the gold standard. Genesis Gold IRA is the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. GenesisGoldIRA.com would like to help you protect your IRA today with a simple phone call. Learn more and get the phone number at GenesisGoldIRA.com. That's GenesisGoldIRA.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Heidi, did you know? It turns out there is at least one sleeping position that will not only provide you with better quality rest, it actually is also better for your overall health. According to experts at the Sleep Foundation, sleeping on your side has multiple benefits, including relieving stress on your spine, so less back pain. It can also reduce heartburn and snoring and allow pregnant women to sleep more comfortably. Footnote, if you struggle with back pain, you should be sleeping on your side with a pillow or a blanket between your knees, according to this. One more thing, it is best to lie on your side, but which side, according to Dr. Karen Ra? The left side. Oh, how did you know this?
Because I know this.
Left side is better. In a TikTok video, the doctor says sleeping on the left side, especially if you experience acid reflux or heartburn, is the better choice. I do everything wrong. I sleep on my head. I stand on my head. Well, I don't do that. But I don't sleep on my side. I've tried it, and then I wake up in a different position. We don't know everything, but now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. Tyler Perry's attempt to acquire BET has officially come to an end. He came short of Paramount's asking price. They said, we want $3 billion. And he's like, okay, well, I'll give you $2 billion. And they're like, no. So the sale of BET, which includes VH1, BET, and the streaming service BET Plus, was commenced. The auction solicited bids, several interested parties. They all fell short. Perry currently owns 25% stake in BET's streaming service, by the way. And Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer has surpassed $700 million at the global box office, the fourth highest grossing movie of this year. After 5 weeks, they've generated $718 million in all parts of the world. So it's got a breakdown of all these. So I'm not going to go through all that. If you want them, you can. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Do you cringe when you get your mobile phone bill? Mint Mobile can help. Just $15 a month for premium wireless. Give your family a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current phone to Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That is far less than most people are paying. Just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. A ticket sold in Florida won the $1.5 billion Mega Millions jackpot recently. So that's pretty cool.
Yikes.
$1.5 billion. That's
Wouldn't
a
that
lot
be
of money.
Nice.
I would buy some new shoes.
After taxes, you'd have enough for a dozen eggs.
Yeah, well, a lot more than that.
Maybe.
Yeah, there's a lot of taxes that come out of that, but even after taxes, you're still doing pretty good. An Italian man was crushed to death by a falling wheel of cheese.
Oh my goodness! You go from one really nice story into
I'm sorry.
that.
And it says falling wheels of cheese, so it was multiple wheels of cheese. So that's too bad. Not good at all. I remember a movie where a guy died from a jar of pickles that fell on him.
Yes, it's called Deary.
Deary, the movie.
Yeah.
My wife Heidi is in that movie.
And so is my husband.
Oh, that's right. I'm in it too. Yeah, we won't be signing autographs. So, sorry.
You won't want
What's
one.
that? No, you won't want. You can watch it on Amazon. I'm not encouraging you to, but it's called Deary Off the Wall. And if nothing else, if you just read the reviews, that's going to tell you everything you need to see. And Lawn Starter, they keep sending me emails, and I keep reading them, so I should quit doing that. But they sent me the best cities for cat lovers. So the best cities for cat lovers, the worst cities first, and then the best. So Laredo, Texas, Garden Grove, California, Bridgeport, Connecticut, Newark, New Jersey, Warren, Michigan, Patterson, New Jersey, Hialeah, Florida, Springfield, Massachusetts, Miramar, Florida, and then Detroit is the worst place to own a cat. Best places, by the way, go ahead and ask, Heidi.
What's the best place to own a cat, John?
Oh, I wish I knew. I don't have that list. Just kidding, I do. It's right here. Fort Collins, Colorado, number 10. Savannah, Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia, number 9 and 8. 7, Scottsdale, Arizona. Richmond, Virginia, 6. St. Louis, 5. Santa Rosa, California, 4. 3, Las Vegas. 2, Knoxville, Tennessee. And the best place to own a cat, Orlando, Florida. Probably because of that big mouse place there.
Can you tell me why? I mean, why would any place be a bad place to own a cat? It's not like they have to go to dog parks and stuff like that. So
I'm not sure. If you want to read
get it.
I've got a link in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. If you're looking for a new opportunity, South Dakota is calling. There's over 27,000 open jobs at this very moment. Whether you like the city life or if you're more of a fan of the rural lifestyle, South Dakota has plenty to offer. From the Black Hills and the Badlands on the west side of the state to the rolling prairies in the middle with many small towns and the city of Sioux Falls on the eastern edge, there's no state income tax in South Dakota and many job opportunities. Learn more about what's waiting for you in South Dakota at movetosd.com. That's movetosd.com. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Excited to have back on the program Mr. Willie Robertson from Duck Dynasty. Going to chat about a new movie that's coming out, and this movie is about your parents.
Yeah, it's called The Blind, and it is about their journey early in life where they kind of found their faith and turned their lives around, and I'm thankful that they did because it looked like everything was going to be over. So if they wouldn't have made that turn, there wouldn't have been a Duck Commander or a TV show called Duck Dynasty. It shows their struggle in life and kind of Dad's downward spiral pretty much ever since college. The story of redemption and how he turned his life around and she forgave him and they held it together. And again, I think a lot of people are thankful that they stayed together.
Absolutely. And one little thing could have changed it all, but it's an amazing true story.
Once they straightened their lives out and then they actually moved to Louisiana, and from Arkansas. They put us in things like church camp, and so that's where I met Corey, my wife, in 5th grade. So yeah, it was just amazing. In fact, Dad had kicked us out of the house in his darkness of that time of his life. That's how Mom ended up moving down here to West Monroe, and was offered a job. It was actually Corey's family that offered the job. I said, we're in a small town, but it's not that small.
Nice.
Where all these things kind of worked out the way it happened. And yeah, it's a timepiece. So it's set in mostly the 60s and some in the 50s, and kind of stops there in the early 70s. And so, yeah, it's kind of neat to look back in time. And in fact, we filmed it around a lot of the places where they grew up in Northwest Louisiana. Shockingly, some of those places still look like they're burned in time from that timepiece anyway. So, yeah, so it's kind of neat to see. It shows a little bit of Phil's childhood and how they were raised, and very poor, and there was some mental illness in the family. My grandmother struggled with off and on, and so yeah, it's just kind of that journey that he took. He ends up playing quarterback at Louisiana Tech, and everything's looking like it's going to be great, and then his life just really spiraled out of control.
And the good news is, even though things spiraled out of control, I think the way his life has turned out has been pretty good, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I'm fortunate that they did turn out like that, and then he became just a completely different person, and again, I think the movie is a lot about Kay's story, and how she was able to forgive him, because if she can and can't move on or goes on with her life, again, everything changes and it's completely different. But then Phil was able to focus in finally for the first time, not being drunk all the time. He could finally focus in on this business, which was Duck Commander and making these duck calls. And there's even a little piece of that in the movie where he has one of the ideas for one of the calls. And and then he starts making these duck calls and selling them all over the country. And then, eventually years later, that's where the show, us running the family business, that's where it was birthed out of.
And everything in the movie, The Blind, is way before Duck Dynasty. But without these things, there would be no Duck Dynasty.
Yeah, that's it. I think that's the story, of redemption and hope, is that even though we do things to, really mess our lives completely up, like I said, Phil found faith, and he had a sister that never gave up on him, and she had begged this preacher to go up and, share the good news with her brother. And thank the Lord he did. he goes into this bar, and that's portrayed in the movie, and had to be so intimidating. I was always so thankful for that guy to take that chance and go up there and share this with him. And Phil didn't immediately respond or anything. You keep in mind, he was pretty hostile towards it. And it wasn't until his life really was out of control and he was living in the woods and running from the law. And that's when he came back and said, I think I want to hear more about what that preacher was saying. And that's when he had this big life change. So and most of the memories I have are pretty much after the movie. I'm portrayed in the movie at 2 years old. And I'm actually played by my grandson, John Shepard, and so Nice. He played young Willie. So yeah, it was kind of a neat to see that on the screen.
So does the 2-year-old Willie already have a beard? Probably not.
No beard. He was in fact. I could distinctly hear him. He said something about TT man or TT boy, and it's funny because I've heard him use that, and so it wasn't part of the script. So he went off script on the movie with that as they're sitting at a dinner table. But yeah, I think he'll hopefully appreciate that way later in life when he can look back and saw that was his first movie and acting role was playing his grandfather.
I love that. Willie, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us about this.
All right, man. Good talking to you.
Absolutely. Again, the movie's called The Blind. It comes out next month. I've got the trailer and all of the details in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
It's more important now than ever before to have a better credit card. We would love to help at bettercreditcards.com. We offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we can help you find a good fit for you at bettercreditcards.com.
Give yourself a little credit. Go ahead and switch to bettercreditcards.com.
That's bettercreditcards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
About 1 out of every 2 million people will die by falling out of bed. Oh, in the world?
I know somebody who fell from dying out of bed. Yeah.
And we know somebody else that fell out of bed. They didn't die, but they were on the floor for like 4 hours. So, hey, be careful out there. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
By the way, I just want to say that was not a fun fact. That was kind of a sad fact.
That was a sad fact.
Let's see if this one's better. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Pandas don't have specific spots for sleeping. They simply fall asleep wherever they happen to be.
Just like you.
I was going to say, I might be part panda. And our final fun fact for you,
What's
Heidi.
that, John?
In Ireland, there are more mobile phones than there are people.
How is that a thing?
Because some people have multiple phones.
Why?
That same thing, by the way, in Sweden, in Finland, and in the United Arab Emirates. More mobile phones than people. For a while, I had 2 mobile phones. Remember that? Mm-hmm. I had one for you and one for my girlfriends. Mm-hmm. No, it was one for work and one for you. So, all right. I feel bad even saying that. Several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Did you know you can allocate a percentage of your IRA to physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can put your IRA back on the gold standard. Genesis Gold IRA is the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. GenesisGoldIRA.com would like to help you protect your IRA today with a simple phone call. Learn more and get the phone number at GenesisGoldIRA.com. That's GenesisGoldIRA.com.
Now your Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way, courtesy of MintRvention.com. Question for you, Heidi.
Yes, John.
75% of women say they like the way this looks, but they hate the way it feels. Something for guys, by the way. What is it?
I don't know.
Stubble.
A beard.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a beard.
Okay.
Stubble. So they like the way it looks, but they hate the way it feels. I don't even want to know what you were thinking. I see the look on your face. Hold that thought. And that's going to do it for the Mint Mobile question of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of MintRvention.com.
Do you cringe when you get your mobile phone bill? Mint Mobile can help. Just $15 a month for premium wireless. Give your family a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current phone to Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That is far less than most people are paying. Just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Time now for some weird news, brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Japanese company has introduced a new style of sleeping pod that lets you grab a power nap while standing up. Giraffe Nap is being marketed as a way to get a midday refresher to improve concentration at work efficiency. And you might be aware of Japan, they have hardworking country there, but they also take naps. They have scheduled naps, and that's something that's kind of cool. But now they've got this new thing called Giraffe Nap Pods. It's a vertical orientation space where you would actually stand up instead of horizontal where you lay down.
How do you nap standing up?
Well, would you let me tell you? They've installed these in small cafes and restaurants. They take up very little room. In addition to the stand-up position, supposedly it makes it easier for the person using the pod to wake up from their power nap. Each Giraffe Nap pod features a wake-up alarm as well as points of various point supports in various parts of the body, head, buttocks, calves, feet, to ensure you sleep from head to toe in an upright position. Huh. So you stand in this thing, and it basically just holds you there. You basically hang there like, I don't know. Like
I would not like that, I don't think, at all.
I don't know either. Giraffe Nap, currently only available in coffee shops and cafes in Japan. And they can keep them. Weird news, brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. I'm going to finish the list we started yesterday. They asked people over the age of 50, what is some advice that young people should all know? Like this one. You might not want kids or be able to have kids. That's okay. Never let anyone tell you you're making a mistake if you decide not to have kids. I agree.
Yeah.
Because there's some people that just don't want to have kids. And there are other people that pressure them saying, you have to have kids. No, not everybody does. Stop thinking that life is about being the most productive person you can be. Find interesting hobbies that make you feel good and that are good for you. Your soul deserves some rest. Another one, read for pleasure every single day. I agree. You should do that. Every skill takes determination to practice and master them. I've seen young friends try things and give them up because they weren't good at it, but they didn't even give it a chance. Another one, travel while you're young. Mm-hmm. I'm glad I did this. Opened my eyes to so many things that I carry with me today. Not everything you disagree with deserves an argument. Pick your battles. And the last one on the list, when you're an adult, you stop worrying about what everybody else thinks about you. When you're old, you finally realize nobody was thinking about you anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
I love that. The list, you can read all of them from today and yesterday in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com. If you're looking for a new opportunity, South Dakota is calling. There's over 27,000 open jobs at this very moment. Whether you like the city life or if you're more of a fan of the rural lifestyle, South Dakota has plenty to offer. From the Black Hills and the Badlands on the west side of the state to the rolling prairies in the middle with many small towns and the city of Sioux Falls on the eastern edge, there's no state income tax in South Dakota and many job opportunities. Learn more about what's waiting for you in South Dakota at movetosd.com. That's movetosd.com. Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way courtesy of insurancechicken.com. Our quote today is from Abraham Lincoln, who said, "Better to remain silent and be thought of as a fool than to speak out and remove all doubt."
That is true. I actually love that quote.
That is a great quote. And I should wear that as a t-shirt, but then I should follow those little words of advice more closely, because there are many times I say things and I go, I wish I hadn't just said all that.
I shouldn't have said that out loud.
Yeah. Quote of the day comes your way courtesy of insurancechicken.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news. I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. Here's a headline, Heidi. Charlottesville cops score big. Viral video shows police playing street basketball with kids. A group of police officers turned a routine patrol into a memorable experience for themselves and for a bunch of kids when they joined in an impromptu game of street basketball. That's kind of cool.
I do love these kind of stories.
This particular heartwarming interaction was captured on video and has since gone viral. Officer Michael Darby said he was driving by, saw kids outside, and he started chatting with them. Moments later, there was a little 3-on-3 basketball game between the officers and the kids. It says the police say their ultimate mission is to connect with their community on all levels. I think it's really important. I just think showing kids, especially just because with the news and everything,
right,
that it's not always good in the news. You know, I just share with people that we are people just like them, said Officer Sidney Love Baker, one of the officers in the video. It's good to show them the good side of policing and how to build better relationships within the community, added another officer. So I think that's really cool. The video, by the way, it looks like it was on TikTok, but it's got a lot of views. It's gone viral, and a lot of people have seen it.
That's super cool. I love those stories.
I do too. And here's the thing that I wonder. So when you're doing that, do you let the kids win? Do you just like?
Oh no.
Do you play as hard as you can?
Absolutely, you play as hard as you can.
Learn that lesson, sucker. In your face. And they're done. All the kids are crying. The cop's like, glad we can do this. We should do this every day. No, I think it looks like in the photo that I see in the video, it looks like everybody had a really good time. I've got a link to the story in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show.